Serie A season is over, so you know what time it is. Team of the season. It's been a weird season. It's been fun, especially if you're a neutral, not much for Interisti, obviously, because we lost the Scudetto. But Serie A title went down right to the last day. The top four race went down right to the last day. The relegation battle was alive to the last day. It was a fun season in general, but the quality, especially in individual level, it wasn't quite there. So this was actually a little bit of a difficult Serie A team of the season to make, but I want to see your opinion on it. And the way we're actually going to do it is a little bit of fun. So a few months back in January, we made the Serie A team of the season till now, back then. So we're going to use that, which you see on the screen. And 1,000 of you watched this, over 1,000 people. So I'm grateful for that. And most of you agreed with that team. So what we're going to do is actually eliminate players from that team and add players back into this 4-3-3 formation. And starting off in goal, it was David De Gea, but now he is being replaced by Mile Svila, the Roma goalkeeper. This is probably the easiest decision of the whole Serie A team of the season. He has been the standout goalkeeper in Serie A, and 15 clean sheets, agility, commanding in the box. Even though he's a young goalkeeper, has been really, really impressive. Yes, Claudio Ranieri almost completed a miracle by getting them almost into the top four, but a big credit to that goes to Miles Villa, and quite rightly, he won Serie A goalkeeper of the season. At right back last time round, I forced Nuno Tavares in because he had such a great start to the season, and Di Marco had such a great start to the season, so I couldn't leave either of them out. So actually now we can go for a proper right back. It could have been Di Lorenzo. I think as the best defense in Napoli, he might have deserved it, and consistency. I think Dodò from Fiorentina also deserves a shout, but we have to give it to Denzel. My God, this guy, especially in 2025, when he wasn't injured, this guy, of course, in the Champions League as well, but in Serie A as well, he was carrying Inter at some points. Absolute powerhouse. His best season at Inter, it is Denzel. A centre back, Bastoni remains. He has probably been Inter's player of the season. It's between him and Denzel, actually. I mean, it's up to you guys who is the player of the season. Maybe we decide after the Champions League final. But next to him, it's another Napoli defender. We take Buongiorno out, and I see Buongiorno in a lot of Serie A teams of the season, but the brother was almost injured pretty much half the season. So I don't know how people are putting him in, even though he was good. But his partner is the one that deserves to be in, the one that played in every single game. Amir Rahmani, shouts out to you. Last year, he had an absolute stinker. This season, he's maybe one of the most improved players in Serie A, one of the leaders at the back for Conte. Doesn't matter if Buongiorno was there or Juan Jesus was next to him or even Oliveira was next to him. This guy was the one carrying. In previous season, he was getting carried by Kim Min-jae or Koulibaly. Not this time round. Shouts out. Honorable mention, obviously, Buongiorno, but of course, Nonno Acerbi for Inter. When he wasn't injured, he was, as usual, reliable and consistent. Hellas Verona's Coppola deserves a shout, and he's getting linked to bigger teams quite rightly. Ndika, I think I saw a stat just earlier today that he played almost every single minute in Serie A this season. So just for that availability, reliability, but also played quite well. He deserves a big shout. And finishing up at left back, after Nuno Tavares and Di Marco had those crazy starts to the season, it's been a really bad year at Serie A for wing backs because both Nuno Tavares and Di Marco fell off a cliff. There was guys like Miranda for Bologna who have a very good debut seasons. But I'm going to give it to Robin Gosens, guys, former Inter player, 5 goals, 5 assists, versatile, playing in the back four most of the time as well, so showing that he can be a proper left back as well. Threat from the back as he always is. Shouts out to him. Great comeback season. Now, let's move on to midfield. And unfortunately, I have to kick out Nicolo Barella and Edison. Barella, yeah, I mean, of course, like most of the Inter team, especially the second half of the season, the amount of games and the tiredness and the fatigue just hit Barella. He just hasn't looked the same for the last few months, really. Still, probably on his day, I would say he is the best midfielder in Serie A quite easily. But in terms of performance level on a consistent basis this season, he's not there. Deserves a shout. Same as Edison. Narrowly misses out. I would say Edison, he probably deserves to be in here. But of course, number one in here has to be Scott McTominay. I cannot believe that he has won Serie A MVP. And quite rightly, I'm not saying he shouldn't have, because 12 goals and 6 assists. This guy literally carried Napoli to the Scudetto in the last few months, like Rafael Leao carried Milan in the key moments a few seasons back. But if you asked me this a year ago when they signed him from Man United, I could not have imagined this. And yeah, it doesn't look good when Prem Todd see Scott McTominay being player of the season, but he deserves it. Next to him, one player that remains from my previous team of the season till now is Tijani Reinders, who looks like he might be on his way to Man City, and quite rightly. Amazing performances this year in a stinky Milan team. He deserves that extra credit for doing it in a stinky ass Milan team. 10 goals, 5 assists, classy player. I wish he played for Inter, man, but looks like he won't even be playing in Serie A. And next to them too, I had to make up for not putting him in my team of the season last time because he probably deserved it already last time. It's Nico Paz, who actually continued it. I thought he was going to drop off in the second half of the season, but he didn't finish the season with 6 goals, 8 assists, one young player of the season, quite rightly. Is he ready for Real Madrid? Looks like he's not going to Inter. Honorable mentions for midfield, obviously I said Barella, Edison, but apart from that, I think Nicolo Rovella was really close to making this team. Third most tackles and interception in the whole of Serie A, according to FBref. Reliable, consistent for this Lazio team, who had a very good start to the season, but just misses out. Anguissa, probably from the Napoli midfield, his best goal-scoring season under Conte now. Lobotka as well. Manu Kone for Roma, great debut season. Definitely is going to be looked at by some bigger clubs. And Frendrup from Genoa, that workhorse, the tackling and winning the ball back, he's probably going to play at a big club next season as well. And up front, I have to kick out Marcus Thuram because due to injuries, again, fatigue, like other Inter players, he just hasn't looked the same in 2025. So he's out. So is Lookman, who had a bit of a drop-off as well, although still had a pretty good season, to be honest, but not African Ballon d'Or level. So we put in Riccardo Orsolini, Orso God. His season with Bologna is his best season up until now. 15 goals, 5 assists, and he's finally been called up by Spalletti for the national team, which is about time. And of course, he broke some Inter hearts as well with an amazing overhead kick goal, which might be one of the goals of the season for sure. The other wing, we just shove in Moise Kean. He has been unreal, man. Probably, if we had to make an award for this, most improved player of the season, Moise Kean. This guy goes from, he had 0 goals last year, right? Or did he have 1 goal or 0 goal for Juventus? I think it was 0 goals. So you're going from a 0 goal season to 19 goals and 3 assists. But it's not just the goals. The hold up play has been unreal. The strength, the power, the pace. He's finally, living up to the hype that he had at the beginning of his career when he was coming through at Juve. Shouts out to him for sure. And then up front, leading the line, the capocannoniere, the top scorer, Matteo Retegui, who went through ups and downs. He had moments where he was scoring, hat tricks and back to back or something, but then he had a few weeks off without nothing. But in the end, 23 goals, 10 assists. The overall play as well from Retegui, even if he finished, let's say, with like 15 goals, I might have put him into this team because his overall play has been really good with Atalanta as well. So, yeah, amazing season. Honorable mentions for the strikers: Thuram, as we said, misses out. Lookman, Lukaku. Lukaku may be the most underrated season in Serie A this year because he hasn't put up big numbers, but his goal and assist numbers are nothing to scoff at. And in general, his importance to Napoli under Conte, we know he lives by and dies by Lukaku. Renzo Luca pretty much carried Udinese with his 12 goals. Kristovic, you could say, saved Lecce with all his goals. Asan Diao, what a signing for Como in January, came in and scored a lot of goals and assists. Very exciting player. And Pulisic, unfortunately for Milan, fell off in the second half of the season. He started the season on fire. So that's it for the team of the season. So you guys let me know all your thoughts about this. I think this Serie A team of the season can be argued. I think it can be debated for many of them. There's no, as I said, Milas Villa is probably the clearest winner. I think maybe Moise Kean and Retegui are unmovable, and McTominay. But apart from that, it's you can kind of debate almost every single position this year. So let me know and leave a thumbs up. Now let's finish up with something a bit more fun. Flops of the season. I haven't made a flop 11, but I'm just gonna list off the list of flops, and then we pick one flop of the season. And we've had quite a few. Cope Miners, 60 million euros. My goodness. I think, to be honest, I know he's the first name I mentioned, but just mentioning him, 60 million euros, 55 million euros, the fact that he already came from Serie A, that he already had his best season ever in Serie A last season, that he should be coming in. He was wanted by Thiago Motta, he was wanted by Juve, they chased him all summer, and he flopped so badly. He's front runner. But then the next guy, Douglas Luiz, it was like 50 million in this weird, that money laundering Juve deal. Awful player, and I don't think he's going to stay at Juve. And then we moved to Milan. They've had a few. I mean, even loan stints like Joao Felix deserve a mention, because how stinky of a loan stint was this from Joao Felix, just because of the hope that he gave Milanisti on his debut. Morata sent packing to Turkey after a few months. Emerson Royale, my goodness, I still can't believe Milan chased him for weeks and wanted him, and he's still there. Kyle Walker, I don't think they're going to make that deal permanent. If they do, I don't know why. For Inter, Mehdi Taremi, of course, one goal in the whole Serie A season. Yes, he was probably injured for a lot of it, but yeah, hasn't worked out for Taremi this season. Even for Napoli, Mazzocchi, Pasquale Mazzocchi, a Neapolitan who probably doesn't care that he's part of this list, but every time he played for Napoli, he did not even look like he was a Serie A level player. Really, really shaky. Nicolo Zaniolo. If Giampiero Gasperini can't revive you, not even Palladino, Fiorentina, like, I think all Italian fans are losing hope on this guy. And if you saw the news yesterday, he beat up 2 Roma kids or something. This guy. Atalanta, Ben Godfrey. Does anyone know where he is now? For Bologna, Erlich, 7 million euro signing, pretty awful centre back for them. Enzo Lefebvre went to Sunderland from Roma. No one remembers Enzo Lefebvre at Roma. And Tijani Noslin at Lazio as well. He was the most expensive signing this summer and only scored 2 goals. But yeah, on reflection, after mentioning all those names, a lot of stinkers in there, but it's flop of the season of the Uncle Shaman channel goes to Tone Cup Miners. You guys let me know in the comments down below if you agree, disagree. There's players that I didn't mention, players that I should have mentioned, especially flops of the season that I should mention. Let me know in the comments down below. Let's see what the Serie A season cooks up next year. See you guys for the next few videos. Ciao ragazzi, always, Forza Serie A.